Welcome to our eCampus Library Support, where we're talking and introducing the embedded librarians. We have today Laura Gargis, and she is going to be moderating this presentation, and hopefully we'll be able to take some questions as we go through here and have a Q&A at the end. One thing to be mindful of is if you're not talking, if you could mute your microphone, like I'm going to do mine in a second. That way we won't have a lot of background interference. Well, without any further ado, let me just give it over to Laura, and you got it.
Okay. Thank you, Bob, so much for helping me moderate this session, and thank you for everybody that's been able to attend. We look forward to people being able to hear the recording as needed as well. So I'll go ahead and get started. Today, we're just going to have probably a short time together. We're going to introduce the embedded librarians. We're going to review the library services that we offer to students. We're also going to go over a few tips and resources for you guys as faculty. So just to start by introducing myself, my name is Laura Gargis. I do have a Master of Science in Library and Information Studies from Florida State University, and I got that in 2011. Full-time, I work for Georgia Highlands College at the Cartersville campus as a librarian. I'm also a part-time librarian for eCampus as an embedded librarian. And I do like to tell people often that I call myself a library nerd, and I do so affectionately because helping students with research is something that I truly love. And we had planned to have the other librarians present today so they could introduce themselves to you in their own words, but unfortunately things happened and they could not attend, so I'll just go ahead and run over all of their introductions as well. So one of the other librarians, her name is Karen Benedson. Her Master of Library and Information Science with a focus on health sciences librarianship is from the University of South Carolina, and she got that in 2010. She's also a full-time librarian for Georgia Highlands College at the Cartersville campus with me, and a part-time librarian for eCampus. And her quote, she considers herself a catalyst facilitator and adheres to the Chinese proverb, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. We also have librarian Kristen Collins. She has a Master of Science in Library and Information Studies from the University of Kentucky. She is another full-time librarian for Georgia Highlands College, but she works at the Paulding campus and also a part-time librarian for eCampus. Kristen enjoys helping people find the answers to their questions because she believes information is power. And finally, we have librarian Maggie Murphy. She has a Master of Library and Information Science from Rutgers University School of Communication and Information that she got in 2012. She's a full-time librarian for Georgia Highlands College at the Rome campus, which is in Floyd County, and she's also a part-time librarian for eCampus. Maggie likes working for eCampus because she gets to help students from all different USG institutions, and that is something I would say we all enjoy as a part of this job. Now, before I move on, does anybody have any quick questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to talk quickly about the library services, what we offer to students. We have two main things that were really to be there for the students, and that is to help them avoid plagiarism by properly citing their sources that they use in their assignments. We're also there to help them with research, so anything from figuring out where they need to look to figuring out how to look, to figuring out what to look for while they're researching for assignments. We also, I wanted to go over the ways that we are able to connect with the students, which thankfully, thanks to eCampus and all the technology that they have, we can connect with students via live chat, via discussion boards, email, the instant messaging within D2L, and a new thing that we're going to be trying this semester are live presentations. They're going to be given via Collaborate, similar to this one, to help students in specific areas. And the areas we're going to focus on are APA style, MLA style, and Research 101. These are going to be scheduled shortly, and they will just be kind of general sessions to give the basics to students and then also answer questions that they have. Now, I know that this screenshot is a little bit small, but I wanted to show you all the eCampus Librarian Support and Services class. So all of your students are enrolled into this class, and so they'll be able to see all this information as well. On the left-hand side, over over here we have discussion boards. So students can post to those discussion boards at any time. We do try to reply to discussion board postings as soon as possible. They also have access to Search Galileo right below that. The third thing down is the content browser. This is some content that we put together for students that can access it at any time. The topics are research help, also citation help, and avoiding plagiarism. Over on the right-hand side column, you'll see our schedule for the semester. Now this does change per semester. Right now we cover hours in the evening, Monday through Sunday, every day except for Wednesday, and students can see that schedule. Now just above the schedule, the live support, leave a message button. When we are logged in, it will say chat with Librarian Live. I don't remember the exact wording, but it's green and it says they can chat with us immediately. So that's kind of what your students are looking at when they go to the eCampus Librarian Support and Services classroom that they all have access to. We also are able to help you and your students with plagiarism when it occurs. So when you do believe that your student has plagiarized, we have a procedure that we're trying out where you refer the student to us for some tutoring on how to properly cite their sources. If it's possible, it helps us if you could send a copy of their paper with your comments so that we know what to focus on when we communicate with the student and we're tutoring them in the citations. Once we do communicate with the student and have them in a better place with their citations on their paper, we will then email you to confirm that we have met with the student and covered those areas that you requested. I also heard that some instructors have asked for some tips on grading citations and kind of where you can get information. So we wanted to share one of our biggest resources that we share with students, and that's the Purdue OWL, which is the Purdue Online Writing Lab. They have just a ton of information on all of the major styles. So they have a site for MLA, a site for APA, and a site for Chicago. Definitely, we highly recommend that if you have any questions about how something should be cited, refer to the appropriate page on the Purdue OWL. And of course, we are always glad to help with citations. If you have a question about something, we can take a look at it and help you figure out if it is correctly cited or not. So that is kind of the quick rundown of everything, but I was hoping that maybe we have a few questions. I'm happy to stop and answer anything that you guys have.
Okay, I think we're going to get a question from Yolanda here. While she's doing that, I believe that the embedded librarian is in all of the non-STEM classes, which is really a tremendous thing. Okay.
Bob, this may be a question for you because it would be an eCampus policy, I believe. I know our experience has been that a lot of professors, when they give the student opportunity to revise their paper, that's been the situation when we have talked to them. Do you know if there's a specific policy?
Okay, that's a very good question, and I'm going to answer this question. And if Brett needs to say something after she's welcome to do so. She's more involved in eCampus than I am. Well, if a student does plagiarize, do we refer them automatically, or is it a choice? I operate on a pretty straightforward approach. The faculty member is the first place to go to. and we're just assuming the faculty has established some type of relationship with the student. And my advice would be talk to the student, and I would just make the student known about what you see. And if you get the impression that the student just made an error, well, you know, we all make mistakes. But use your judgment. If you know that the student is, you do have a sense that the student is plagiarizing, then that would be a matter of academic honesty, and you as a professor, you may want to just give this, you know, a little time, see if the student does change their ways. But if not, yes, we have to have integrity in our coursework and our student work and what the student is supposed to be doing. This is why we're involved in education. The student needs to know they cannot plagiarize. And so there is an academic honesty policy reporting that needs to be done, and we'll just talk about that in another presentation. I'm not going to go into the details of this, but what I would do the first time this happens and you know that there's a difficulty, I suggest you contact eCourseCI, that's Jody and I, and we will take that and process it and do what we need to do there. So I just operate on the conviction people make mistakes, maybe they just need some guidance, give them the guidance, but if you are seeing that and becomes a problem, please take action. That's not a problem. Okay, any other questions or comments or answers? Okay, I want to thank each one for being here. We're going to send this link out before too long. We appreciate so much Laura being part of this embedded librarian and helping us out today. I'm very excited about what this can bring to our students, and it's another great piece of the puzzle to help deliver quality online educational experiences to our students so they can move forward and do what they need to do in life. Thank you so much. I'll stop the recording now.